Have you crashed? What's the worst crash?
I've had a lot of crashes, but thankfully, knock on wood, I haven't had any crashes where I've gotten really seriously hurt.
Have you wrecked the car?
Oh, yes. I've wrecked many a car.
So what's that feel like? Just you wreck a car, how do you get...
It feels like total shit if you're in a real race and other people depend on you. It's not even so much the car, although it's also sometimes that these cars are expensive to repair and that sucks and it feels so wasteful in a way when you crash some of these cars. But the sense that you're letting a team down. Endurance racing is a team sport. Not only do you have your mechanics, you usually have co-drivers. So when I crash, I just feel like, damn it, I could have avoided this.
Yeah, but also, you could have died.
Do you know what's funny? I never think about that. I don't think you can. Because I think the moment you start thinking about being able to die, you can't do it. You can't go fast.
Well, I'm sure, not to go all Carl Jung and Freud here, but I'm sure that's always present in the back of your mind somewhere. You're not just bringing it to the surface.
It is in the sense that it's part of the appeal. It's part of the sense that there's something on the line, that this isn't just virtual. I can't just hit reset, restart, reboot. If I crash this car, we're going to be out, or we're going to be disadvantaged, or it's going to get destroyed, or I might get hurt. I've gotten lightly hurt a few times. I actually had the year we won 24 Hours of Le Mans in our class. I'd been training in this Formula 3.5 car. It's a really fast car. It's a really nice exercise to do, but it doesn't have power steering. So some of these race cars, especially the open seaters, they don't have power steering, which means that the steering wheel is basically directly connected to the front wheels. So if you crash one of those cars and the front wheels suddenly turn, you're really going to hurt your hands if you don't get your hands off the wheel. I hadn't raced enough of those cars to know that I had to have developed the instinct that I had to get my hands off the wheel. So I didn't. And I really hurt my hand. And this was just, I think, a month before the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So I thought, oh man, I'm going to have to miss it this year. I had not a cast. It was just seriously sprained. And then somehow, miraculously, a week before the event, I was like, oh yeah, actually it's okay now. So got to do it. And that would have been grave regret if I would have seen my team go on to win the race and I would have to sit on the sidelines. But I really have been quite fortunate in the sense that most of my crashes have just been expensive or sporting inconvenient. They've never been something where I got seriously hurt. But I've seen plenty of people who have. In fact, my co-driver this year, and for several years, Petro Fittipaldi, drove a race car at Spa. Spa is one of the great race tracks of all time, and it has this iconic corner called Eau Rouge, which is probably the most famous corner in all of motorsports. That has a great compression before you climb uphill. It's an extremely fast, very difficult corner. And just as he does the compression, his car basically sets out and he loses his power steering and he drives straight into the wall and breaks both his legs and basically faced the prospect that maybe his career was over. I've had other teammates and people I know have serious injuries that's really hurt them. And yet what's funny, as you say, you'd think that would sink in. The year before we won in 2014, that same car had a Danish driver in it at Le Mans, at the race I was driving, who died. He lost control of the car when there was a bit of rain on the track, and the track was unfortunately designed in such a poor way that there was a very big tree right behind the railing, and he hit that tree at full speed, pulled 90 Gs, and was dead on the spot, which was just such an extremely awful experience to go through. I finished second that year, which should have been cause for a bunch of celebration, but it was just tainted by the fact that not only did a driver die, a fellow Dane died, a guy I knew died. That was pretty tough.
So that throw that into the pile of the things that have to be considered is the weather conditions, like you mentioned, of the track, whether it's dry or wet.
It's a huge part of it. Even just last year at Le Mans, it was raining and I was out and I hadn't made a serious mistake at the 24 Hours of Le Mans since I did the first race in 2012, where I put it in the sand trap with like 4 hours to go, and we lost a couple of laps getting pulled out, but it didn't actually change anything for our result because that was just how the field was spread out. I'd made minor mistakes over the years, but nothing that really set us out. And at the race last year, when it was raining, I first clobbered a Ford Mustang when I made an overambitious pass on a damp part of the track and couldn't stop in time. And then felt absolutely awful as I sat in the gravel pit for 2 laps and knew that our race was over. A race where we were highly competitive. You're not blessed with a competitive car, a competitive team, and a competitive setup every year. I know how rare that is. So to know that we had a chance that year and I sort of squandered it felt really bad. But that got compounded when I got back on track, barely made it another stint, and then put it in the gravel trap again when it started raining on the entrance into Porsche. So this is part of why racing is so addicting too, because the highs are very, very high. When you win a race like the 24 Hours of Le Mans, it feels just incredible. There's so much emotion. But if you fuck it up, the lows are very, very low.